Hello and welcome to MarTech Advisor's Executive Interview Series. I'm Ginger Conlon, a contributing editor with MarTech Advisor. And joining us today is Malcolm Cox, who is CMO of Grapeshot. Welcome, Malcolm.
Hi, welcome everybody.
So glad you're here with us today. We are going to talk about opportunities with contextual marketing. But before we jump into talking about contextual marketing and the related trends, I'd love to hear a little bit about Grapeshot. How would you describe Grapeshot and what makes it unique?
Grapeshot's a unique search and targeting platform that deploys machine learning to unlock value from data. Our ability to process and categorize large data sets at scale, cleanly and efficiently, means that we can assist real-time marketing decisions.
Excellent. And that's so important today, the real-time aspect. So let's talk about contextual marketing and how search and targeting play into that. So lots of marketers are using retargeting and similar strategies today. But what's one opportunity for using contextual marketing that marketers are perhaps overlooking but has a potential for making a significant positive impact?
So, retargeting that you mentioned is undoubtedly today's fashion, but retargeting relies on old data. It's serving you content based on some action that you undertook historically. So I would say to any marketer to ask of their retargeting strategy, how fresh is the data that you're using? Because marketers, to my mind, often overlook the opportunity to engage real time. So you want to watch, think about real time, you want to watch the Super Bowl as and when it's happening as a shared experience. You don't want to watch it 2 weeks later on some sort of catch up. Live context marketing gives you the opportunity to engage your message when the consumer is most interested in it, when they will engage most deeply in it. That's what we at Grapeshot call the perfect moment.
Oh, I love that. And I love that the live context aspect of it, because I think, like you said, that's so important. People are doing something in the moment and really want to make that connection in the moment that's most relevant to them. That it's not always easy. So what is a challenge with contextual or real-time context, marketing and context that you're seeing, and how can marketers get past that challenge?
Okay, one of the main challenges as we move into the context area with live context marketing is the change as we move from deterministic targeting to probabilistic targeting. And what that brings is billions of pieces of data that needs to be analyzed. Now, the opportunity is that we're going to go to the top end of the funnel. And that top end of the funnel with all those different consumer connections gives you large amounts of data. That's a challenge, to process huge amounts of data at scale, efficiently and effectively. But it is now possible, and a challenge that marketers should want to undertake.
Is there an area where marketers are currently underutilizing this live context approach to marketing that they, if they started to enhance their use in that area, they could, make some significant changes? And what would the changes be that they could expect?
Right. So I think that an area of underutilization is the ability to predict what consumers are interested in tomorrow. So live context marketing gives you the opportunity to talk to consumers in the moment. But the real Holy Grail is to start to talk to them about what they're interested in tomorrow. So we all know that marketers can build segments around words and phrases that directly impact their brand. And that, in terms of live audience, is a reachable, recognizable activity that marketers can undergo. But the real Holy Grail, as I say, to start to predict what they'll be interested in, is to analyze social media. Now, the social media comments are alive with a flux of consumer intent. So whether that's a celebrity chef that's talking about cranberries, or whether that's some comment about Harry Styles moving from being a pop star to being a movie star. So the ability then is to take that social currency and start to adjust the targeting based on the real trends and movements that we're seeing with consumers, so that you can engage consumers tomorrow with the things that they're going to be interested in today.
Oh, that's great. I love that. So, that really brings me to my next question, which is about customer experience. It's such a hot topic today. And I think when you're able to connect with customers in the way that you're talking about, in the moment, and then, kind of almost reading their mind about what's next, it delivers a great customer experience, even if they're still a prospect. So, where are you seeing the opportunity for using this type of marketing to improve the customer experience? Any good examples that you're seeing?
Well, I guess the first thing to think about is that in the real world, consumers, people are engaging with millions of touch points simultaneously. So they don't think about things in a linear way. So they're thinking about email interaction, they're thinking about in-store, they're thinking about social all together as one. So in 2020, I don't think we're there yet, but in 2020, marketing needs to link the data across all of those touch points to create the perfect experience, which then is the perfect moment for that customer.
So, speaking of linking data, and you were talking before about how much data there is, let's get into the weeds a bit and talk about, when you've got a tool or a platform um, to help with this kind of marketing, it can really help you improve processes and make the flow a little bit more smooth to enable this kind of approach. Where are you seeing marketers either succeeding at this already, or where can you provide some advice to help them improve, like, the process side of making this work?
So I think marketers in general are on a journey as far as this stuff goes. And you can almost sense the way that people go, that you start with being in denial, oh, this is all happening to me, and then we start to embark upon change. But I think that the biggest challenge is where we think there's going to be a one-stop shop, where there's going to be one place we can go that can make all this happen. Now, integrating Signal into Stack is not really a one-stop shop solution. I think people who say that they can do it as a one-stop shop really need to be challenged. Different partners bring different strengths, and our opportunity then is to put our signal, in our sense, a keyword signal, into different people's stacks and start to link it together. Therefore, the marketer looking for efficiencies needs to consider that they're going to be the ringmaster of that circus. You've got to bring all the people together and start to provide those links. Now, as far as Grapeshot goes, we want to work with people who are best in class to sort of help that process. So we do work with people like Drawbridge to enable Signal to be looked at across devices. And we do work with people like SpongeShell who can help sort of link that signal into dynamic creative, which seems to be where the hotspots are right now.
I like how you were talking about how you've got to think not just about today, but also looking forward. You're talking about what you need to do to prepare for 2020, right? So let's take a little bit of a look forward. What's coming up that you're especially excited about in two areas? One, in the market in general, perhaps there's a tool or a trend that you're excited about, and also within Grapeshot, any new features or upcoming upgrades that we should know about?
Right. So I think both of those things are linked. So, and part of my role is to start to think about, well, what's happening in the future and ensure that we're prepared for that. So I can share some of the things which we do have coming down the pipeline. And for us, the big excitement is around audio and video, and those two are equally linked. The whole world of audio is going through a massive transformation because of voice-activated devices, whether that be Siri or Google. Now, of course, those devices are dealing in keywords in terms of information. They start with keywords in order to process that through to audio. And that's creating a whole bunch of new signals coming from consumers about their intent. But what to me is interesting about audio through those devices, it's not primary intention stuff. This is secondary intention. So people are doing something else and then looking to control that device and make a list of something to buy or something that they're interested in for future consumption. And I think it's a myth for us to start to think about that the consumer will take direct action. It's not that they've run out of a particular ingredient while they're cooking and then they go and order it there and then. What we're finding is that people add that to their list and then want to go out there and shop for it when they're doing their shopping. But there's a whole sense of another customer touch point, another consumer touch point with a whole bunch of new data which is coming along because of that. So that's audio, and you can start to see the people in the radio industry getting really excited about that because suddenly audio is back in vogue again. But what about video? Right? This is the big one, and it's the big one for a number of reasons. Partly it's because within this whole world of programmatic, the laggards in the market have been the large TV broadcasters, who are often publicly quoted, can't take big risks, and there's huge amounts of money which are at play. But there's evidence to suggest that they're finally coming to the party, and that TV will be traded programmatically like everything else. But of course, from our perspective, what makes it really exciting is that we can start to offer segmentation and targeting opportunities in video. So we've got a lot of work which is going on so that we can categorize video in the same way that we categorize text. And we're doing that in two ways. Either we are translating speech to keywords through subtitles, captions, that kind of thing. We're also got work in play, which is currently in alpha, where we can start to look at frame by frame object recognition so that we can look at the content. So I think by the time we get to this time next year, that we'll be able to offer real video targeting opportunities in a way that we do for display advertising. I think that will transform the programmatic advertising market onto another level.
Very exciting. Excellent. Well, Malcolm, thank you so much for joining us and for all the great insight. And I want to let everyone know who's joined us today that Malcolm and I have had another great conversation about what it takes to succeed in marketing today. So I hope you'll check out that video as well. And also be sure to check out and subscribe to MarTech Advisor's YouTube channel for other executive interviews. And again, Malcolm, thanks for all the great insight today.
Thank you.